Broadcasting from the Boca Raton Marriott, welcome to the 2017 Teacher of the Year Awards, brought to you by the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 31st Annual Teacher of the Year Awards, brought to you by the Rotary of Boca Raton Sunrise. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. We are, of course, gathered to celebrate 22 outstanding teachers. So before we go any further, let's give them all a big round of applause. This evening is just a small token of our appreciation for the legacy that you create in your classrooms every single day. And it is so wonderful of the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise to have this event every year and honor you in this way. Speaking of Rotary, it's now my pleasure to introduce the 2016-2017 President of the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise. President Doyle is actually such an international sensation when it comes to Rotary. He really represents what the Rotary embodies. He is a native of Jamaica. He joined the Rotary in 1974 when he was just about 5 years old. Is that about right? Yeah, okay. So then he moved to Bermuda shortly after that, where he really got involved in the Rotary. Then he lived in Grand Cayman. He's got a good background, really interesting. Then finally, in 2012, he and his lovely wife, Maria, moved to Boca Raton, where he really got involved with the Rotary there. Anyway, it is my pleasure now to introduce to you President Doyle Daly.
Thank you, Claudia. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Doyle Daly. I'm president of the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise. I want to welcome all of you on behalf of my colleagues to this, the 31st Annual Teacher of the Year Awards. I especially want to welcome those teachers who have been singled out by their colleagues as best representing the Teacher of the Year. To your families and friends and colleagues who are here today, welcome. We hope you enjoy what we have in store for you. We have a special video that we want to show to you. But before we do so, I want to extend a welcome to the school district, those representing the school district of Palm Beach, the local Boca authorities, and also the district governor-elect for Rotary District 6930. So, without any further ado, may we see the video, please?
The Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise recently held its awards ceremony for its second annual elementary school essay contest. The 2017 essay topic? If you could select a superhero to be President of the United States, who would you select and why? As part of the Sunrise Club's annual dictionary giveaway project, in which third graders at every Boca Raton elementary school receive a free dictionary, over 400 essays were submitted from the 3 elementary schools that participated: Hammock Point, Sandpiper Shores, and Whispering Pines. Sunrise Club members selected several finalists from each of the 3 schools, and one winner from each was announced at the ceremony. Here's one of the winning essay entries. Congratulations to the 3 winners and all who participated.
"31 years ago, Mr. Frank Barbieri, whom you all know very well, and someone who has a passion for education, knowing that we as Rotarians live by the creed, service above self, approached his colleagues and challenged them to find a way to recognize teachers. What started out initially as a very small project has now blossomed into the gala that you have here this evening. And I'm pleased to tell you that we have over 200 present with us this evening. We are delighted and proud that tonight we will honor 22 elementary school teachers who have been selected by their fellow teachers. Make no mistake, there is an inextricable link between an educated community and one that is progressive, one that is prosperous, and one that is safe. Therefore, it is of paramount importance that far more than anything else we attempt to achieve in our community, we ensure that quality education is easily available. And we want all of you to do your part to encourage, support, and celebrate our teachers, on whose shoulders much of that responsibility rests. And so it is with the foregoing in mind that the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise has embraced this annual event and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future, as it is our way of saying thanks to you who have chosen this noble profession to mold the minds of our children. We applaud you. We thank you. And we sincerely hope that this evening we will in some small way succeed in letting you know you're appreciated. The profits from this event this evening, as we have done in past years, will be used to provide scholarships for students intent on pursuing higher education to become teachers in our community. Do enjoy yourselves this evening. Thank you.
President Daly, thank you so much. As he just mentioned, 31 years ago, this program got started, and it was the brainchild of Frank Barbieri. 31 years ago. He's been on the school board as a vice chair and a board member since 2008, so this is way before that. His commitment to the children in our community runs so deeply. His children went to school in this district. His grandchildren go to school in this district. He loves the kids in this school district. It's such a joy for the Education Network when we go out and we cover stories in the community and we see Mr. Barbieri, and these kids literally run up to him like he's their grandpa. You know, it's so sweet, and he gets this enormous smile on his face. I mean, I just can't say enough for how much he does for our community. He has gotten lots of accolades, he's gotten lots of awards, and he's been celebrated, and he deserves it all. In fact, he had a good weekend last weekend when he was honored by, let me see the name of that program, I have it right here, by the Best Foot Forward for his outstanding achievements with children in our community. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage the chairman of this event for 31 years, Mr. Frank Barbieri.
Thank you. But, you know, this is not about me. You know, I appreciate all the nice things she said, but this is about our teachers here tonight. So let's get the focus back on why we're here. It's not about the chairman. And by the way, I'm just the MC. There's a whole committee now that handles all of this, and you'll meet the chair in a little while. They do a great job. They do all the work, and I get the glory. So it's a nice arrangement. Sort of like the superintendent, you know, he does all the work and the board gets the glory. It's pretty cool that way too. This evening, I'm pleased to play a very small part in honoring the wonderful teachers being recognized by the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise. As Claudia said, I've had the honor and privilege of actually emceeing this program for the last 31 years. And if you're calculating, I was only 10 when we started this. Little did I know back then when I suggested that we start this program that it would still be going on 31 years later. With the addition of the 22 elementary, middle, and high school teachers being honored here today, the Rotary Club over these 31 years has recognized 492 outstanding teachers from our great Boca Raton schools. But before we meet our teachers, we have the honor of having with us many dedicated school administrators who I'd like to recognize. I ask them to please stand and remain standing when I call your names, and please, everyone, since we're broadcasting live and we're on a time slot, hold your applause till we're done with that. So as I call your name, please stand. Superintendent Dr. Robert Avosa, Deputy Superintendent, Chief of Schools David Christensen, Chief Operating Officer Mike Burke, Chief Academic Officer Keith Oswald, Chief Communications Officer Amity Schuyler, South Region Superintendent Dr. Ian Saltzman, South Region Instructional Superintendent Secretary Dr. Glenda Sheffield, South Region Instructional Superintendent Elementary 1 Jamie Wyatt, and South Region Instructional Superintendent Elementary 2 Marie Bishop, and Joy Grant, the South Region Instructional Team Leader. Thank you all for attending this evening. In addition to these administrators from the district offices, we have many principals, assistant principals, and other school-based district staff here this evening to celebrate our teachers. Again, I ask when I call your names if you would please stand when I call your name, and please remain standing again until I've recognized all of you. From A.D. Henderson, we have Principal Sherry Bees. From Addison Meisner, we have Principal Kelly Mills Burke. Boca Raton High School Principal, Dr. Susie King. Boca Raton Middle School Principal, Peter Slack. Boca Raton Elementary School Principal, Renee Elf. Calusa Elementary School Principal, Diane Ravelli-Schreiber. Coral Sunset Elementary School Principal, Danielle Garcia. Del Prado Elementary School Principal, Rachel Capitano. Don Estridge High Tech Middle School Principal, Laurie Riopel. Eagles Landing Middle School Principal, Joe Pescia. Hammock Point Elementary School Principal, Stephanie Cook. Hammock Point Elementary School Assistant Principal, Paul Sirota. J.C. Mitchell Elementary School Principal, Joan Pierre Jerome. Loggers Run Middle School Principal, Ed Capitano, who, by the way, was our Teacher of the Year in 2008. So congratulations, Mr. Capitano. Yeager Middle School Assistant Principal, Allison DeGregory. Olympic Heights High School Principal, Dave Clark. Olympic Heights Junior ROTC Instructor, Marine Colonel Alva Ingersoll, who you met earlier. Omni Middle School Principal, Gerald Riopel. Sandpiper Shores Elementary School Principal, Stephanie Coletto. Spanish River High School Principal, William Latson. Sunrise Park Elementary School Principal, Alicia Steiger. Sunrise Park Assistant Principal, Margaret Collier. Verde Elementary School Principal, Seth Moldovan. Waters Edge Elementary School Principal, Joshua Davidow. Waters Edge Assistant Principal, Kara Schwartz. West Boca Raton High School Principal, Craig Summer. West Boca Raton High School Band Director, Larry Shane, who led that great orchestra out there in the courtyard earlier tonight. Whispering Pines Elementary School Principal, Barbara Reamer. And I think that's it. Thank you all for being here. In addition to these many administrators, we are honored to have also with us tonight many elected officials and other members of the community who support our schools. I'd like to recognize them also. Please again stand when I call your names, and please again hold the applause. County Commissioner Steve Abrams. Troy Grass, Legislative Aide to Representative Bill Hager. Wendy Lipsick, District Director for Congressman Ted Deutsch. Kathleen Rowe, Legislative Aide to Senator Kevin Rader. Francesca Magdalenas, Intern for Senator Kevin Rader. Terry Mitz, District Executive Secretary for Representative Joe Abruzzo. Boca Raton City Councilwoman Andrea Levine O'Rourke. Congratulations. This is her first time here. Congratulations on your win for the city. Boca Raton City Councilman Scott Singer. Rita Solnit, co-founder of Parents Across America. Debbie Ellman and Donna Biazzi, co-founders of the Best Foot Forward Foundation, that last Saturday night raised $200,000 for the children in our schools. Dr. Kathleen Weigel, Dean of Education at Lynn University. Troy McClellan, President and CEO of the Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce. Moore Hallmark, Southeast Regional Director for the United States Chamber of Commerce, Christy Workman, Manager of the Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce Golden Bell Education Foundation, Sarah Davis, representing United Healthcare, and, of course, last but not least, Maria Baez, my wonderful administrative assistant in the school board office, who put most of what I've got here together tonight. So thank you, Maria. Thank you, all of you. I want to thank Claudia Shea, our Mistress of Ceremonies, this evening for the School District's Education Network, and Station Manager David McKinley and the entire staff at the Education Network. They do a great job for the district. This is proof of one of the things they do for us. They're a great part of the district, and we're very fortunate. I think, Dr. Vosa, I don't know how many districts in the United States actually have their own TV stations, but there can't be very many. So we're very fortunate to have our own TV station. As you'll see in a few minutes, the Education Network staff did a phenomenal job, as always, of conducting the on-site interviews at each of the schools and putting together tonight's video portion of the presentation. Again, thank you to Claudia, David, and the network staff. As I mentioned earlier, there was a whole committee that helped put this all together, and you're going to meet the committee chair in a few minutes, Chris Manners, and he's going to introduce you to the rest of the committee, so I'll let him, I won't steal his thunder, I'll wait till he gets up here to take care of that. And then finally, you know, there's the lady that joined me tonight. 2 years ago, we did this, and the club happened to schedule it. I didn't. I blame the club. They happened to schedule it on her birthday, so we moved it from May to April to make sure that never happened again. And that's my wife, Rita, who's here with me tonight. Rita and I will be celebrating our 46th wedding anniversary in September. I'm sure she didn't consider when she said I do 46 years ago that she was accepting a life sentence. I told her recently that if she had shot me on her wedding day, she'd be out and free by now, but not sure exactly how she's put up with me for 46 years, but I'm a lucky man. And I want to thank her because I spent a whole lot of time away from home in the schools and doing things like this, and she's very, she allows me the time to support other people's children other than myself. So thank you, Rita, for all of the support. Last year, this event raised over $30,000. Both those dollars and the thousands of dollars raised this evening from our ticket sales and the generosity of our sponsors is earmarked by the Rotary Club to provide scholarships, as President Daly said, to graduates and students in our public schools here that want to go on and become teachers, because that's what this is all about. This is all for teachers, and we want to encourage our own students to stay here as wonderful teachers in our district. Scholarships will also be available to our teachers, our existing teachers who wish to further their education and pursue a master's degree or a doctorate degree. During the past 31 years, my 3 children were each educated by wonderful teachers in the Palm Beach County Public Schools, graduating from Spanish River and Olympic Heights High Schools. And my grandchildren, Brandon and Elena, 2 of the greatest gifts God ever gave me. I brag about them all the time. They have the privilege of being taught by wonderful teachers right here in our district. One of them goes to Murakami Park, and the other one to Don Estridge High-Tech Middle School. As a school board member, I know very well that teachers rarely enjoy the recognition they so truly deserve, so I am very pleased I'm able to help recognize them this evening. The teaching profession makes all other professions possible. A wise man once said that in a completely rational society, the best of us would be teachers, and the rest of us would have to settle for something less. In this room this evening, there are doctors, lawyers, engineers, architects, bankers, business owners, politicians, and other professionals. And then, of course, there are the best of us, you, our teachers. Our Rotary Club helps children on a part-time basis. You, on the other hand, give it your all. There are no words adequate to thank you enough, and no bank account large enough to repay you for dedicating your lives to teaching our children. Consider for a moment that there is only one gift we can ever receive that no one can ever take from us. That is the gift of an education given to us by our teachers. At the Dwyer Awards on Tuesday night, one of the speakers introducing those wonderful teachers summed it up by saying, "Teachers plant the seeds of knowledge that last a lifetime." In the envelopes our teachers will receive this evening, there is a $100 check for each of our 22 teachers from the Rotary Club as a small token of our appreciation, in addition to the other items already mentioned by Claudia. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise, and as a school board member on behalf of the entire school board of Palm Beach County, on behalf of the parents, community members, and most importantly, the children who are empowered by you, whose passions are ignited by you, and whose dreams will be realized because you cared enough to dedicate your lives to their service. I sincerely thank you. A very wise man once proclaimed that what a teacher writes on the blackboard of life can never be erased. Teachers, thank you for writing on the blackboards of our children's lives. No professional on this earth has a greater impact on creating a better future for them and for all mankind than you. And speaking of that blackboard of life never being erased, one of our elected officials who was unable to be here this evening, United States Congressman Ted Deutsch, has a special honor for our teachers. We will be giving each of our teachers this evening a letter with the official seal of the United States House of Representatives, which has been entered into the congressional record of the 115th Congress. With the entry of that letter, the names of our 22 teachers this evening will be a part of the United States congressional record in the Library of Congress forever. Thank you, Congressman Deutsch, for recognizing that a teacher's influence on a child's life lasts for eternity. And now, where's Claudia? Let's get on with the show, Claudia. Enough about me. Let's get this thing moving.
Thank you, Frank. Ready to get this party started? Okay, let's do it. Okay, teachers, a reminder again, we'll be calling your name, and if you could come to this side of the stage and just wait until the video is completed to then come up on the stage, and Frank will give you your plaque. Come up here. What are you doing over there? He thinks he delivers this great speech and then he can sit down again. No, you have to come on back up here. Come on. Okay. All right, crew in the back, you guys all ready? We are ready to roll. Our first school is A.D. Henderson School, and our winner is Maria Lang.
Maria Lang, our Teacher of the Year this year, is an excellent teacher in the classroom, and she certainly meets the needs of all the students in the classroom on a day-to-day basis. She supports the other teachers, and she does what you would expect a high-performing teacher to do.
I love teaching because I like to see every day the progress that my children make. I'm passionate about teaching the strategies and help them to be successful in the regular classroom. I love the joy that I see every time that they get something that they have been struggling with, and their eyes light up, and it makes me feel very good that I'm empowering them.
I still am not confirmed, but I have my suspicions that she's our secret sunshine person who leaves a treat on every employee's desk for every holiday. And she just goes over and above and does those little things that are just so special in a school setting.
Congratulations, Maria. Next, we are recognizing Addison Meisner Elementary School, Brad Chappelle.
Brad Chappell is the kind of teacher principals dream of having on their staff. His classroom is an inclusion classroom that consists of patience, persistence, and compassion. His genuine concern for others is something that serves him well as he leads the 4th grade team as the professional learning community leader.
Our rules, productive and nice. Ms. Burke chose me for this award because of my dedication to the students, their families, and for my passion for curriculum. I get up and I come to the classroom every day with such enthusiasm because of how I feel about teaching, how I feel about the students, and how I want to see all of them reach their potential.
He is truly what I call a data guru,
Yes.
and he uses the data to drive instruction and is able to assist teachers in that process, truly differentiating with all students in his classroom. It is my honor to nominate Mr. Brad Chappell as the Rotary Club Teacher of the Year.
Okay.
Sorry for mispronouncing your last name. My goal tonight was not to say La La Land was a winner, so I guess this isn't that bad. Okay, and that brings us to Boca High School. And our winner from Boca High School is Megan Forbush.
No matter what you ask of Megan, she's there. You know, nothing is impossible for her. You know, nothing is impossible for her students. Whatever they need, she's going to make happen.
I love to do everything for the kids. That's my main concern, is whatever's going to, help them educationally or safety-wise.
Her main goal is to find out what is the best thing for the students, and that's what she does.
To see the progress of my kids, to see them on the first day of school, and then to see them at the last day of school, or even to see them when they age out, the progress that they have from the first day they come in to when they leave here is amazing. They milestones and leaps. I want to be that type of teacher that helps those kids get them on track to go to graduation, just to have somebody that they can talk to if they need to, just whatever they need, really.
As you can see, we're having all of our teachers pose for a professional photo, and we will also make the videos available to them. From Boca Middle School's in the house, Carol Ann DeRocha.
Mrs. DeRocha, you are a principal's dream. Your excitement and enthusiasm for teaching is contagious. You're an excellent teacher who truly cares about each and every one of your students, and you maintain high expectations for them all. Ms. DeRocha, you're consistently providing your students with opportunities to collaborate.
You're allowed to draw something, and I know some of you guys are very creative and you have really good ideas. Every time I come up with a lesson or I try to teach my kids, I try to teach them as if it's the best day ever or it's just the last lesson I'll ever teach. Like, I just try to teach them with all my heart.
Speaking of students, I actually asked some of them what they thought about you, and they said, without a doubt, you're their favorite teacher. You're always there for them whenever they need help with anything. You're the best teacher they've ever had. You make learning fun. You treat them with fairness and respect. You're motivating and encouraging. So congratulations, Ms. DeRocha, on this honor. You deserve it.
And now from Boca Raton Elementary School, our winner is Kelly Green.
Kelly Green is our ESC coordinator and an ESC teacher. She has a great passion about working with ESC students. She makes each student believe that anything is possible. She's great at working with the teachers and giving them strategies.
Able to summarize a story, okay?
My team nominated me was all of the extracurricular events that I do for the school and the community involvement that I try to build with our students. I have always wanted to be a teacher my entire life. I was impacted by a teacher at a very young age. I had a difficult childhood and a teacher pushed me in the right direction, and that's my goal every day, is to try to help students who are having that same difficulty at home to achieve their dreams.
Congratulations, Kelly Green. We are so proud of you. You're amazing.
From Colusa Elementary School, we have Mariel Stark.
I believe that the peers here at Colusa have nominated Ms. Stark because she is a team player. She's dedicated to the students that she works with. She's always willing to help whenever possible.
I'm going to give you 2 of the 3 dimensions and the volume. Come to school every day with a smile on my face. I want to help everyone in any way that I can, and I'm always willing to share my ideas and plans. The students motivate me to come to school every day because throughout the year I watch them develop academically, behaviorally, emotionally, into well-rounded human beings.
And they just see such positive spirit that she shows and demonstrates all day long, every day, that it made it a very easy choice for them to select Miss Stark.
From Coral Sunset Elementary School, our winner is Shari Ferenga.
Shari Ferenga is one of those teachers that does everything. She wants to work with the kids that need us the most.
I taught third grade for a really long time, and I loved being in the third grade classroom, and I loved my class. But now that I work with students all over the school from second to fifth, I love like the littlest kindergartners right up to my biggest fifth grade. Okay, so what are we looking for? Just seeing them like get excited about a lesson and catching on to things, they have that same excitement in fifth grade that our kindergartner and first graders have when they can accomplish something.
For Shari, she comes in to work every day looking for something new to do with kids. Shari's the type of teacher that looks to make our students' lives better, not only in the classroom but outside of the classroom. The students know her well, and the teachers know her well, and they know that she does a lot for our school.
As you can tell by now, we're going alphabetically. Because you couldn't pick one greatest teacher, they're all great. Okay, Del Prado Elementary School, Eileen O'Brien.
Mrs. O'Brien really is a unique teacher. She transfers the love of learning into students, and it's almost like a magical way.
Just like the Apollo 13 scientists, I have always wanted to be a teacher. My grandparents all came over from Russia and Poland. They did not know how to read or write English and could barely speak English. And I remember when I was a little girl, I have such memories of my two grandmothers, who we called Bubby, and my two Bubbies were sitting on my bed, and I'm at my desk playing school, and I felt that it was up to me to make sure that they knew how to read and write. So at that point, I knew that education was a calling. You are going to need to make something to solve the problem.
It's so evident, you know, that she does what she loves. I feel so fortunate for the kids that she gets to teach every year.
Thank you so much. Go that way.
That was a great story. It's interesting to hear how teachers all were inspired and got their start. You need your Hollywood moment. Congratulations. Okay, from Don Estridge, High Tech Middle School, Denise Rudy.
Mrs. Rudy is just an amazing teacher. She was nominated because the other teachers on our staff felt like she was someone who could really well represent Don Estridge. She's all around just an outstanding example, and I think her peers recognize that, and we're happy to nominate her.
As teachers, sometimes a job can be incredibly overwhelming because we don't teach necessarily what's going on in our classroom. We also help them out personally. I look at, for our kids, that this is their second home. I think they need to feel safe. I think they need to feel that people care for them. But most of all, I look at our job as being important because we are truly modeling these kids for adulthood. It's not a 8 to 4 job. We take a lot of things home. We care for our kids in various ways that I think the public doesn't see. And as everybody says, it's a passion. I think it's above and beyond a passion. I think it's truly a calling for what we do.
Eagles Landing Middle School is up next, and Courtney Elkin.
Courtney's one of those one-of-a-kind that truly comes right from the heart with her decisions. She never sacrifices the integrity of the student first.
When you see that a child is able to accomplish a goal that they've set, to hear them running in that, you know, they made it, they got accepted, makes you feel kind of good.
Courtney is just one of those special people that truly makes it just a better day here. Every time I come, I can get that smile, I can get that fresh, optimistic, it's a new day, we're moving forward, we're gonna get some great things done today.
I like working with people, and I think it gives you the opportunity to work not just with the students, but with adults and the community and the parents, and collaborate in a different way outside of just the academic instruction. You're actually giving the students life skills.
I'm just ecstatic to be able to work alongside her.
From Hammock Point Elementary School, our Teacher of the Year is Emlyn McCanna.
Ms. McCanna was chosen for this award by her peers because she attacks every situation with a solution in mind. She is always very eager and willing to assist and volunteers her time on a weekly basis.
24/7 science. What's another one? A lot of great teachers here at Hammock Point. I try really hard to collaborate with all of them and to work with them. I hope it's because I have allowed or helped them in their way of working with the children. I work very hard to try to find out what they're working on and what they need so that I can support them in the classroom any way I can.
Ms. McCanna's enthusiasm for her job encourages even the most difficult children to do their very best. This past summer, Ms. McCanna opened up the Media Center one day each week for the community to come in and get involved in literacy and for the children to have a chance to read.
Take a picture of it.
Okay. There's no denying how dedicated our teachers are, that's for sure. And it's funny, they're so comfortable in front of the classroom, when they come up here, they're kind of shy and like, I don't really deserve all these accolades, really. No, yeah, okay. From J.C. Mitchell Elementary School, Nora Buck.
Nora Buck has been a leader at J.C. Mitchell from the moment she stepped foot on our campus. She's passionate, she's energetic, and she's very critical of herself because she wants to make sure she always gives her students the very, very best.
I love seeing the confidence in my students grow when they answer a question and they explain it, and then they add to an idea when we're having a discussion, and it really warms my heart, and it gives me a reward that makes me love teaching.
If her students have a problem with a standard or a concept she's trying to teach, she then analyzes what she's done as a teacher to fix it just to make sure that the kids get it. And she's giving the kids a life lesson that I can redo it and always be better.
There's always something I can do. There's always one more thing I can do to reach a student. And that's important to me. I really want to try to reach every student I have in my class. So if that takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of time. I'm happy to do it.
You can hear a pin drop in this room. It's wonderful. Okay, Loggers Run Middle School is our next school, and the Teacher of the Year is Robin Kuda.
Ms. Kuda was nominated because of her dynamic ability to reach students in a very passionate, enthusiastic way.
Become masters of the body systems or the forensic area.
The way I see my job, it is to inspire, to inquire.
So everybody has to do research on a body system or forensic area.
Children have a natural tendency of discovery and wonder. And if I pose questions, dilemmas, I want to hear what they're thinking and how they'll go about the process of figuring it out.
Like a big boom.
But the explosion will create a fire. So they're investigated the same way. It's what I get back from them that makes me want to give them that much more.
With Ms. Kuda, it's a message of how bright she is that she conveys this message that it's going to be a great day for the students.
Our teachers are actually seeing these videos for the first time tonight, so this is all news to them too, and they hear what their principals have to say. Congratulations. Okay, Olympic Heights High School, by the way, thank you once again for the color guard and for the national anthem. Awesome job, you guys, tonight. Okay, our winner is Sarah Gregory.
It is my pleasure to recommend Ms. Sarah Gregory as the 2017 Rotary Teacher of the Year. Ms. Gregory wears a variety of hats here at Olympic Heights. She serves as our department chair, assistant testing coordinator, PLC team leader, and a member of our professional development team.
We are now at this stage where you guys are going to learn how to make or create this bill. Because the fact that I teach seniors, knowing that they're about to go to college, I just enjoy my time with them and to teach them that team building skills for them to learn how to collaborate and build confidence. Confidence is extremely important to me, so that's what motivates me to spend time with these children.
As a teacher mentor, she also uses her planning time to assist and coach several new teachers so they may be as successful as she is. As a teacher leader, she presents frequently at our learning team meetings and is a great resource for all of our staff. Sarah Gregory simply makes Olympic Heights a better school.
Just walk over to that flag right.
Our next school to recognize is Omni Middle School, and the winner is Jacqueline Grandison.
Ms. Grandison is an integral part of us here at Omni Middle School. She is a dedicated employee.
I just think it's my calling to help students, or even just children in general, to be the best that they can.
She loves students. She loves her job. She has a special knack with our students with special needs. And she's able to work with those students and be able to get them engaged, focused, and working to have improvement in whatever they're doing. When you see her on campus, she's on the go all the time.
Oh, I just think it's genetics. I just wake up like this every morning. For real, I just wake up every morning, you know, because I just love what I love what I do. I love teaching, and when I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to get to work with the students, and I just love every aspect of the day. And it just gives me the energy to do it all day long. Thank you.
Sandpiper Shores Elementary School is up next. Shelley Davino.
I nominated Miss Davino for this award because she's one of those teachers that doesn't come around very often. She's nurturing and kind of like a mom to the kids, but when she teaches, she's all business, and the kids totally respect her. She's a team leader, her team respects her. She's really the kind of teacher I would want for my own child.
Which one do you think might have broken off a bigger piece of rock? I try every day to bring a positive mindset to the classroom. I try to make sure that the students know that they can achieve their goals with my support. And I think that I get along well with other members of the staff and able to collaborate well and share ideas and share experiences with not only students but other teachers.
How nurturing she is. She cares about the kids. It's so evident in everything that she does, in her teaching, in just her everyday existence. She's there for the kids.
Appreciate that. Love all you do. Thank you very much.
Spanish River High School is up next, and the winner is Mary Fish.
Miss Fish is very different. What you see on the outside is not necessarily Mrs. Fish. She comes off as the highly intelligent, nutty professor who's very focused and a scholarly person.
I've been teaching science for 27 years. I mean, I've always been a hands-on type of teacher. I just have always had that in me, and I've loved science all my life. I just love it. I love the kids. The students are great. They're really motivated. They're really interested in doing experiments and just really interested in learning about different things related to biotech.
She's either with students who are working on projects during her planning periods, during lunches, on the weekends, so her time is taken up all the time with students.
That's what's been so nice to see, that I can see that growth. I can see them growing because I physically have seen them over the years.
So the only time I ever really see her was when she comes up and she's looking for money. That's about it.
Okay, so we have a nutty professor who's looking for money. Everything you want in a teacher, yes.
Sorry.
Congratulations, Mary. Sunrise Park Elementary School, the winner is Anna Lily Young.
To me, Miss Lily is a true gem on our campus. To be able to see the work that she's doing with our students and the impact that she's made on Sunrise Park Elementary School, she is one of those people that just stands out.
I have the unique opportunity in my job to have kids for years. I've had some kids for 5 years. And the ability to be able to take a non-reading child and then bring them close to grade level or passing is really incredible, and it's life-changing. Today we also learned about the different plant life, right, that lives in the different environments.
She is a tremendous instructional leader, not just in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom. She's extremely passionate about her role as an ESC teacher with some of our, struggling students. And she also works very hard to make connections, not just with our students, but also with our parents and her colleagues.
Congratulations. You're welcome. Let's go get a picture over here.
Okay.
The paparazzi. Verde, we're in the V's. Verde Elementary School, Karen Gibson.
Mrs. Gibson is an amazing educator. Not only does she care about the educational needs of students, but she really cares about the social and emotional needs of all of her students also. She's loved by all the students on our campus.
One of my main passions for teaching is developing a strong sense of community in my classroom so that I can develop caring, compassionate citizens not only for my classroom, but also for this community and hopefully our planet.
Mrs. Gibson is a cornerstone of the Verde community. She's worked here for over 23 years, and she's done an outstanding job.
Congratulations, Miss Gibson!
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
From Water's Edge Elementary School, Amanda Fraga.
Mrs. Fraga has a growth mindset, and that growth mindset is contagious. It simply spreads throughout her team and through not just her team, but throughout the whole school.
Amanda?
Robert Louis Stevenson.
Good.
What motivates me is the students' motivation, their determination, their willingness, and just seeing how happy they are at the end of the day when they finally understand something or when they make that growth throughout the day.
Mrs. Fraga is an amazing educator. She is a proud product of our school system here in the local Boca Raton area. She went to Boca Raton high schools, she went to college in Boca Raton, and now is giving back to the community here. So she's a true product of our public school system.
So Mrs. Fraga is here only for a few minutes because she's the maid of honor for her sister's wedding tomorrow, and she's over at a rehearsal dinner, so we got her over here very quickly so that she could take a picture with me. So.
Thank you.
Fortunately, since Water's Edge begins with a W, it gave her a little bit more time, so that was perfect. And that brings us to West Boca Raton High School, and our winner is Lance Blank.
I nominated Mr. Blank because he is an amazing teacher that combines the science and art of teaching into the Performing Arts Academy like nothing I've ever seen. Building incredible relationships with students and making them lifelong learners that love the arts. I have never seen the level of dedication in a teacher that I see with Mr. Blank. I like to come on the weekends and get some work done, and I still cannot get to West Boca High School without seeing Mr. Blank's car in front of the auditorium setting up the next play, the next show, rehearsing and preparing for students. I've never seen that level of dedication from anyone before in any field.
I love seeing these kids grow, and especially because I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of these kids for 4 years, watch them become young adults and know that they're going to move on to an amazing future, and I get to be part of that for just such a short period of time.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to lucky number 22, our final teacher, last but not least, Whispering Pines Elementary School, and is Sharon Gottschall.
May I say our hand?
Our hand.
Minute hand.
I believe that my teachers chose Miss Gottschall, one of our first grade teachers, as Teacher of the Year because she is amazing with the students. She instills love of learning within her students so that they love to learn. They work very hard to please her and to show her what they have learned in their reading, in their math, and their writing.
I think the teachers at my school chose me because they know that I have just a passion for the students and a love for learning. And I really enjoy inspiring the students to find what they love in the classroom and not making it work, but making learning to read something that they enjoy and helping inspire them to just love reading and love learning and finding new things in the classroom.
Couldn't happen to a better teacher, Miss Gottschall. Congratulations. Go Gators, and thank you so much for all that you do.
Well, Frank, I would say that they all deserve another round of applause. The 2017 Teacher of the Year Awards will be continuing in just a moment. We'll take a short break, and when we come right back, Superintendent Robert Avosa will have some words for you. So please stay with us.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Chris Mainers, and I'm the chair of the organizing committee for the Teacher of the Year 2017 for the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise. And I just wanted to take an opportunity to recognize the people in our club, specifically my committee, that made this evening possible. So the Rotarians that are in the room that served on the Rotary Teacher of the Year committee, would you please stand so that everyone can recognize you and thank you for the work that you did to make this evening possible? And if we could also have just all the members of our club. We're about 50 strong. Anyone here, please stand up, the members of our Rotary Club. Very good. Thank you very much. I'd like to go ahead and call Frank Barbieri back up to the stage, and we'll continue with our program tonight. Thank you, everyone.
So it's my job to introduce you to probably the greatest superintendent in the United States. And I know for a fact that he is because I work with him every week, and it's great. It's a great working relationship. Dr. Vosa is getting ready to wrap up his second year as the superintendent of Palm Beach County Schools. In this short time, 21 of our schools rated Ds and Fs went to a C or higher, and our achievement gap continues to get smaller. Our black graduation rate increased by 4.6%. Excuse me, and the Hispanic graduation rate increased by 3.2% last year. Under his leadership, the district has budgeted 2 years of consistent raises for all personnel and moved the minimum wage to $10.50 per hour. The bus driver hourly rate has also been increased to the highest in South Florida. As superintendent, Dr. Avosa wears many hats. You know, he tells us he's a great cook because Dr. Vosa was born in Italy, and his father and mother had a restaurant. So he says he's a great cook, but you know what he did is he decided to go out at the the Dwyer Culinary Academy and see if he could have a cookout and win the kids out there at the academy, and they chopped him. But Dr. Vosa vows that he'll return as a champion next year. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Dr. Vosa has 2 children of his own in the district, so he gets the pleasure of serving as both a leader and a parent in our public schools. And I asked him, I said, what's it like sitting in front of a teacher with your child? And the teacher, and he goes, I just tell him I'm just here as a parent. And I'm sure the teacher says, he's just a parent, right? He's just a parent. Superintendent Dr. Robert Avosa.
Thanks, Mr. Barbieri. And actually, what I tell the teachers, to be honest, it's not me you need to worry about, it's my wife. But I appreciate that. Well, good evening, everyone. I have to confess this is my favorite time of the year when I get an opportunity to go around and see firsthand all the wonderful things that are happening across the district. And we're particularly blessed in Boca because Boca, as a city, Boca as a community of business leaders, folks like the Rotary Club, they know education is the top priority, and it's linked with economic development, safety, right? It's this whole idea that with great schools, we can have great communities, and great communities have great kids. Those kids go off to college, they come back and call Boca home again. So again, to the Rotary Club and all the business leaders, let's give them a huge round of applause. I also want to take a moment and acknowledge this, right? So my wife, Kelly, was a chemistry teacher, and teaching is a family affair. And I know it firsthand because the first 4 or 5 years of our marriage, I graded, and I didn't even teach chemistry, I graded more chemistry labs, inputted more grades for my wife because the job is so hard. It's hard. And I know many of the husbands and wives and friends and boyfriends and girlfriends, etc., participate in that teaching. How many times when you travel, you see some teacher sitting at the airport grading papers waiting for, everywhere you go, soccer games, football games, they have to find those moments to get the job done. So to all of you who are here supporting our teachers, let's give them a huge round of applause too. So I recently read that some research had come out, and I think most of us know this, but Stand for Children recently said that teacher influence on student achievement has been shown to be 20 times greater than any other variable, things like class size, poverty, etc. Teachers, by 20-fold, impact kids learning the most. A great educator can increase a single student's lifetime earnings by over $260,000. 3 years with a good teacher increases student learning, but just 1 year with an ineffective teacher could actually decrease it. Students achieve 3 times the academic gains with effective teachers than they do with ineffective teachers. In other words, 1 great school year, a child could learn 1.5 years to 2 years worth of growth. And 4 consecutive years with an effective teacher completely erases the gaps, some of the racial gaps and the poverty gaps that we see. And I'll tell you, I see this firsthand everywhere I go. I've had an opportunity now to visit about 135 of our schools. I still have 50 to go. I mean, we have a lot of schools, and it's been 2 years, and I'm trying to get around. And I get a chance to meet teachers all the time and watch them in action. But the part that's impressive is that no matter where I go, and people find out I work in Palm Beach, they'll say something positive about our schools and teachers. I was just in Denver this past week, and a young African-American man came running up to me, maybe he was 35 years old, and he said, "You just gave a speech about the importance of culture in a school," right? And he said, "The school you mentioned, Lakeshore Middle out in the Glades, was my school. I went there. And in my community out in the Glades, a lot of the boys wanted to become football stars, and I wasn't much of an athlete. I was a little shorter, really didn't like that. But there was a teacher who inspired me and gave me hope for the future, and I became a teacher. Then I became an assistant principal, then principal. Now I'm the chief of HR in this district a little further, you know, in the middle of the U.S. And I thought, those are the kind of stories that aren't told on the news. They're not told in the Palm Beach Post or other articles, although we've got lots of positive articles that come out. Unfortunately, we only hear about the negative. So I want you to know, as a dad who has 2 children in the school system, thank you. Thank you for what you do. It's the hardest job, and I just admire everything. I mean, you watch these videos, I think I heard the word love about 150 times. I didn't hear anybody saying that they were proud of their FCAT or FSA test. Did you? They talked about inspiring children to be lifelong learners, solving problems. Those state tests, they can't figure out whether or not someone loves school, whether or not they want to work together and collaborate. They can't. And so the teachers here tonight embody the idea that they want kids to be passionate. Of course we want them to do well and go on to college and be competitive. We get that. But we lead with love, and I think that was evident. It's unbelievable. I'm just completely shocked at how much we can do with the lack of funding that we get. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in there. We fluctuate between 44th or 48th in the entire nation on the investments that we make in public education. If that's not an embarrassment, I don't know what is, to be honest with you. And I know money doesn't solve everything, but when teachers make less than $50,000 a year with 18 to 20 years of experience, I want to ask you, where do you expect them to buy a home in Palm Beach County when the average home price now is almost $350,000? Especially if you're a single parent raising a child or 2, or you happen to do what I did, which was marry a teacher, and she and I were both teachers. And the reality is, we've got to keep finding people that will represent us. And in Tallahassee, if you watch what's happening up there right now, I'll be honest with you, it's not good. And we'll probably see another year where, although the economy's doing better, they've had more money than they ever have in the past, we'll probably see a 1% increase in our budget again, which means we can't give the kind of raises we need to our teachers. So again, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. The reality is I'm complaining, okay? And I need you to get out there and make sure you find people who will support us. The reality is communities like Boca have high expectations, right? Be honest, we're in Boca. Come on, guys. Be honest. These teachers are fantastic, and they have parents who expect world-class private school experience on a public school budget, right? and they're delivering. So what I want to end is this. Thank you to the Rotary. Thank you to the men and women who teach in our classroom. You are a representative of the absolute finest education you can find in public school. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest. And by the way, I was at a school today, and a fourth grader reminded me, you know there's only 27 days of school left. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Avosa. You know, he made me think of something. I'm also married to a teacher, but unlike Dr. Avosa, my husband has never asked me to grade anything. He teaches AP Human Geography, and maybe when he talks about the Bantu migration, and I give him this look like, what? Maybe that's why. So anyway, now I have a goal. I'm going to say Dr. Avosa used to help his wife, so Mark, can I please grade something? Maybe I'll learn. Anyway, you have been a wonderful audience. It has been a joy and a pleasure to host all of our teachers and celebrate all of our teachers this evening. And thank you so much to the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise for holding this event every year, for the writing competitions you do, for the dictionaries you give to our kids, for the way you support our community. Thank you all so much, and we'll look for you again next year.